Hey guys, how are you? Today we are at an alpaca farm. So I think you can see them right there in the background. They're having a little snack right now. We fed them a little bit, but I thought it'd be a great idea if we looked at alpacas and then we figured out how to make them together. I've never made one before and I thought this would be a really cool challenge. So I'm gonna give you a little look around, then we'll get started.
Oh, I saw it.
He's happy to see you. Her hair is cool, dude.
How do you know it's a boy? Oh, dude.
Alrighty, are you guys ready to make an alpaca? I am so excited, and please forgive me if I say llama at any point. I know that they're alpacas, but sometimes my mouth just says it wrong. So here's my little sample. This one has not been fired yet, but here is my demonstration of what we're gonna be making today. And I'm just gonna take you through step by step. So what you need is a main body color for your alpaca. So I've got this like golden tan that I'm going to use, and it's been warming up in my pocket to help it with its flexibility. And then just some fun colors for accessories like flowers, eyes. I did some dark hooves, and you may want to have a variety of fur tones if you want to add like some puffy hair. And then I just gathered some polymer clay tools. These are some smoothing tools. This is my cutting tool. Toothpicks are really great for smoothing, cutting, poking, making any kind of indentations in your clay. And then these are just some trimmed down toothpicks that are going to be used to support the legs. That's why he can stand up. He has toothpicks in the legs. So that's a really good little way to support something that is made soft. So once you get your supplies, then you can come back. So just pause the video and grab what you need to get started. So this is just one package of polymer clay. I like the Sculpey brand. I like Sculpey Primo, and I like Sculpey 3. They have a really nice consistency for the kind of projects that I do. So I'm going to take off about a quarter. This is going to be used for legs, mouth, and ears. So you really don't need very much. I'm gonna set that aside. So I have between a 3/4, 2/3 left, and I've got to warm this up with my hands, and it's actually kind of behaving for me. Sometimes they can start really, really tough. So this is called conditioning the clay. If you haven't had a chance to warm it up, it might take a little bit longer. So be patient with this step. Let your clay go at the speed that it needs to go at to get into the right shape. So what I'm doing, I'm rolling it back and forth in my hands, being patient. Patience always helps. I can tap it on the table, but what we're doing right now, we are making the body and the neck / head. So I'm going to keep this end larger than this end, but I don't want to go completely into a carrot type shape because we don't want the head to be pointy. We want it to be round. We will add on that nose, but for the most part, this is the neck and the head. So this is pretty, this is a pretty good size right here. So I'm just slowly going to start to bend it. If you want, just to give it a little bit of help, you can use a tool to kind of go down in there so that that will bend better for you. And I love using the ends of my paintbrushes and my smoothing tools. They're just as handy as the end that they think that you're gonna use. And then I'm just gonna squeeze right here. If at any point you wanna back up the video to see the images of the llamas that I started the video with, go for it. Or look at some images that you have found on your own, and that will help inform the shapes that you're making. So we already have the body. Here's the head, here's the neck. I like to bend it like this because then there's not a connection here that can easily break apart. It's still one unified piece. So that is done. I'm gonna set that aside, and we're gonna work on some legs. I'm probably gonna just pull the tail later out of that. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this in half. And again, this sort of depends on how conditioned your clay is. So I'm gonna roll this, and it is responding pretty good. So you can roll it in between your hands, or you can roll it on the table. But let me say, for your table, you want it to be clean. I found sometimes I use tile. Tile is really, really good. Counters that are clean are really, really good. This is left over from a cabinet project at my house, and it's very smooth. It's a finished surface, so it's not porous or dry, and it's gonna work really, really good, but I did have to clean it a little bit first. It's interesting, you can see a variety of colors in the clay, and that's fine, that's cool. So I'm gonna trim this. This won't quite make all 4 legs, so I'm gonna have to do a little bit more, but I just need enough clay to do 4 legs, 2 ears, 1 nose, and maybe the tail. We'll see. We had to have an argument at my house about, or let's say a discussion about, do alpacas have a tail? So we went back and looked at the video, and sure enough, they do have tails, but they're short. They're not bushy like a horse's tail, and they blend in a lot with their regular coat. So the way that you get these all about the same, you just line them up beside each other, give them a good little trim. So these look pretty good. Now, I pre-trimmed these, but if you, you know, don't have yours trimmed, I like a toothpick that has a point on either side. You can just snap it in half, and then to get that yucky end off, get your scissors and kind of wiggle it back and forth, trim them down, okay? So that's how you're gonna make that. If there's not a yucky end, you may not have to. And then if you can get your toothpick close to the color of your clay, that's good, but it's not a has to. That's just if it pokes out, if it shows at any point, it's not going to be obvious. So the legs are right at the very front of the body, and then right at the very back. You don't want to put them in the middle and have like a bunch of his chest or a bunch of his backside hanging off. So you want to line these up, and I have them poking out to the side just a little bit, and that will give us space to shape each leg. And I'm giving it just a twist rather than pushing it straight in. A little bit of a twist reduces the pressure so that you don't accidentally change the shape of the body that you just made. I am giving a little bit of pressure on the sides as I go in with these toothpicks, just to make the opening nice and snug. We don't want these legs to fall out. Alex made one with me, and the legs, they were trying to fall out, and then it should stand up. You can kind of eyeball to see if they are in about the same amount. So then you're gonna take your legs. This is why I have the pokey part out, so check and make sure that you have the pokey part out, because it's gonna poke into this leg here. So you can see I'm trying to center it up, and then I'm gonna twist. Remember, twisting, it's always a really good trick. It provides pressure that is not going to overwhelm your piece of clay. And now that is on there pretty good. And then you can, you know, if it changed shape, you can adjust it a little bit, and then whatever smoothing tools, you can take a moment and blend right here. And so the more that you blend, the more realistic, the more finished, the more aesthetic these will appear. And so it's just a matter of a little bit of patience. You know, if you have a toothpick, just using the side of it is very, very effective. And even the end of a toothbrush, since it's very smooth, you can do that too. Now, some people want to know, can I add clay here? I don't really mind. If you have clay to add, then you definitely can, because sometimes there's just a little bit of a crevice there that is hard to work with. So you absolutely can. And then you're going to repeat that for each leg. Okay. All right, so I got the 4 legs on here. This one leg, the toothpick wants to kind of poke out. So I'm just kind of turning the clay and trying to adjust it, turning these feet up just a little bit and checking to see if he still wants to stand up. And it's not too bad. So this is a part that you can spend a good amount of time just adjusting. If you want to add another color feet, you can. You know, whatever color shoes she or he wants to have on is so cool with me. So I think this is a great time to add a tail. So I have a short little tail, and this one I actually just kind of squeezed. I had a lot of extra clay in this area, so I just kind of squeezed and pulled it. But let's see if we want to add it, okay? This is probably enough for my ears and my nose. So let's see if we can use this just to make a short little tail. So don't forget, you want to condition it. You want to warm it up in your hands, roll it around. And here again is the little sample. And it just tucks right down, right over their back legs. And I'm going to make, this is the tail part. It's going to be a little bit rounded, and I have a little crack there. So I'm gonna condition that a bit more. And then I'm gonna flatten this because I don't want a big bump on the bottom, on the back side. I'm gonna flatten this so it can just flatten right into it. And then if I wanna add some texture for the tail, I can do that already. It might disappear a little bit. I might have to come back and add more, but that's okay. So let's try it on, see what you think. Before you apply it, you want to make sure that you like it. So I don't know, what do you guys think? I think I'll make it, look at my little reference picture again. Wasn't that farm so cute? It's called Rosie Mae's, and we just had the best time there. So yeah, just give it a little bit of an adjustment if you feel like it needs one. And then I'm gonna go ahead and apply that, blend it on, and that should stick really good. This clay, I probably put in my pocket for 15 minutes, and that really helped it be pretty flexible for me. And then any of these little imperfections, don't worry, because we're gonna go back and add some texture. Give him a little bit of indentation right here. I think it'll make him look a little more athletic. Okay, he needs a face. I need a face. Okay, so stand up. Take just a bit off. My workstation's getting a little wild here. Okay, so let's just take a bit off for ears. And so this can be his nose. So I'm gonna roll it in my hands, give it a little bit of conditioning. And of course, if you have too much, that's an easy problem to fix because you can always just trim it down. So that is so much, but that's fine because I need a flattened area to go against. So this is the smaller half, so we can try that on close. This is the larger half, still a bit large, so I'm gonna trim. So you noticed I rolled a ball in my hand, cut it in half. And now, third time looks like the charm. That looks pretty good to me. Again, if you want to look back at some llama pictures, you know, go for it. That is awesome. And I really am enjoying the variegation in this clay. I don't see that as a negative. I feel like, you know, all animals have a variety, or a lot of them have variety in their fur tones, and this just makes it even more fun and more interesting and realistic. So Okay, his little mouth is on there. And so here's his nose detail. And I just did that with the toothpick, pointy side toward the middle. And I'm just trying to be supportive of the rest of the body so that I don't deform it. So there's his little nose. And let's do the ears next, okay? So ears really don't need much. And the amazing thing is I'm gonna have some left over. So their ears they have a lot of personality. When I made this one, my daughter was like, oh, you need to, make them a little bigger. You need to, curl them up. You need to poke them out. So we played around with the ears to really make it look like he was alive, and wiggling his ears as part of his personality. So I'm just gonna make these flattened ovals. You wanna make them a little bit longer because they've got to attach back here. They don't just set like this. They've gotta have some skin in the game and some overlap so that they won't get knocked off, because those tiny things are the ones that get bumped off a lot easier. So there's my two. This looks like it's gonna end up being extra, and that's good. It's always good to not run out of your clay. And before I put it on, I'm gonna do the indentions. And so just the back of a toothpick works great. So I'm just gonna make that little indention and wiggle it into the ear. There's one. And there is two. And then we don't want him to look like a bunny rabbit. We want him to look like a llama. So thinking about proportion, thinking about size and placement, I'm pretty okay with that. I'm not getting bunny. Alpaca. Have I said llama? I hope not. Probably have. So I'm just giving a little bit of pressure. The more warmth, the more the clay will move for you. So just, going over it repeatedly, it might feel like you're not doing much, but you really, really are. So here's his little ears. Take your time. You can pause the video, take your time to do your blending. That is really cool. He's looking like a golden alpaca. And you can just keep kind of playing with the ear personality. So he needs some eyes. And I got to decide. So I brought black and I brought sparkle blue, and I want to try this sparkle blue. Sometimes the sparkle tones, they give me a little trouble. So let's just see if it wants to do what I want it to do today. The eyes, such a tiny little bit of clay goes a really, really long way. So I'm going to just roll that on the back of my hand. I'm going to put it right here and cut it in half. Okay. Roll that on the back of my hand, put it right here, roll it on the back of my hand, flatten it just a bit, and then, let's see, his eyes are really close to his nose. So there's one. I'm afraid this one's a little bit on the large side, so I'm gonna remove some. I can just tell. Okay, and dun dun dun. Roll, flatten. Then I'll show you my trick for if they don't match. Okay, so they're pretty close. This one's a little bit bigger. Whoops, okay, that one's a bit bigger. And so to make this one match, you just have to press. The more you press, the warmer it gets and the wider. So they don't have to be perfect, is the nice thing. And I'm gonna go with that. And then if you want to add the little white accent, you can. I feel like that gives it just another dimension of personality and depth. It can kind of look like, the center of your eye or even a reflection. So it just adds to that realistic bit. You might have to wash your hands if you have any dark clay color on you. That can happen. So I'm just using like the tiniest bit of white I'm picky. I want it to be the perfect little bit of white. And then I don't want to go dead center. I want to go to the side with it. Okay. Let's see if these two will go together or if I need more. Whoop. Okay, there's that. I love the second one so much more. So let's take this one off. And that's kind of the cool thing is it's incredibly stuck on there, so you can take stuff off, hopefully. Hopefully you can take stuff off without ruining the rest of it. So art is such a good way to teach your patience. Dun, dun, dun. Oh yeah. Okay, so 2 ears, 1 nose, 2 eyes, 4 legs, 1 tail, 1 neck, 1 head, 1 body. So you can kind of like adjust his stance or hers, excuse me. And now is the fun part. So they have bushy hair, they have fur. The pictures of the llamas at this shop had flowers in their hair. So you see the flowers on this one. So I'm gonna show you the texture of their fur, how I add that. And then I'm gonna show the flower. And then I'm gonna turn you loose and you do all the details that you can come up with because the sky's the limit. So I have this little tool right here. And I was thinking a marker cap could also do the same thing. So a lot of these llamas had curly hair. So that's why I love this C shape that this tool does. And so you can just take this and stamp it all over your llama. Being careful, counter pressure means when you press somewhere, you have a supporting pressure opposite that area. If you don't, then you will start to change the shape of your llama. So I am just going to stamp him all over, and that gives him a really, really whoopsie fun and curly appearance. I love how it changes it. It's really, really fun. You can do it all the way up his face, okay? And dun, 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 all the way. So I'm gonna add some more of that. The flower, that's what I wanna show you before we end. So let's start with a pretty purple flower. So I've got this purple over here and I'm gonna roll it on my hand. I wanna fit a few flowers on there. Or maybe, let's see, okay, let's just see. So I'm gonna flatten that out. And then there's a couple ways that you can do it, but I'm gonna just take one finger, kind of tuck in the side right there. Rotate, tuck in the side right there. Tuck in the side right there. And then again, tuck in the side right there. So I just did 4 little indentions on one piece of clay. It's not 4 separate petals. And you can come back and redefine it. Kind of looks like a butterfly. And then, let's see. Just find a good spot for your flower. Give it a little tap. Define without hurting her head. And then just a spot of green for the center. Get it. Going in my secret stash over here. Here's my secret stash. That one's really soft. Gotta go just a little bit firmer. When it's smearing, it doesn't really work for me. And the beautiful thing about these flowers is the more you add, it just, you know, makes it so much fun. So then I'm gonna press that green in the middle and have a pretty little flower. Got something, oh, his eye fell off. Hello. It's got blue on that side, so I need to flip it. All right, don't lose your eyeballs. It's bad if your eye's falling off, so make sure you press your things down. Maybe we need a little indentation right here. All right, so here she is. She definitely can use more flowers. She definitely can use more fur texture. So the sky is the limit. You can add flowers down her back. You can add a flowing mane. You can do a bow tie. You can do jewelry. I just want your creativity to fly. So that's where I'm gonna leave you for today. And I hope that you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'm really proud of you. See you next time, bye. Well, how did you do? Did you make an alpaca? I can't wait to see what you did. So leave a comment and send a picture. I'm so proud of you for making alpacas with me today, and I hope you learned something. Thanks for coming along. Bye.